Hello, Sixth Form, and welcome to today's assembly. Hope you're all well and you're keeping engaged mentally and physically with the lockdown conditions. And like me, you're remembering to do the things you haven't done for a long time. And welcome. I just thought I'd take this moment, which is the midpoint of this half term, to just reflect on where we all stand. Year 13, you in fact only have 1 week left of your formal educational schooling. Ooh, hiss, hooray! You will have likely now been in formal education for at least 14 years, and you will be looking forward to the next stage of your lives, no doubt. Now, normally, May in the life of a year 13 is a time of the marks change, and it's marked by examinations. And of course, that will not happen this year. And when you have a transition in your life, you need rituals to help you deal with that transition, because the transition is both thrilling and but it can also be a source of grief. And those mixed feelings are perfectly natural. That you might be feeling those things is a good thing. You please recognize that in yourselves. Your job, your creative job for the summer, is to think about the ways in which you can, as a group, ritually mark the transition of one stage of your life to another. All 17 and 18-year-olds do this, both through things like examinations and then going out with their mates, having parties, going traveling in this year, thinking about your gap year to come or your employment to come in the coming year, thinking about going to university very rapidly. This summer will always be personally memorable for you, because that's how it works with our bodies. Your sense impressions from this time will become one of your key memories. But you're in conditions where historically this is such a unique time that everybody will also remember this event. So one thing you can think about going forwards, and is really important for you to think about for your own well-being, is like you're going to have a personal memory of this time, and then you are also going to have an historical moment where everybody will remember this time. And as you go on with your life, you need to bring those two things together and realize how it marked you, because it will mark you, but that's again part of life. It's natural to have those moments. Yours are just particularly forceful at the moment. And while we're all separated from each other, it would be useful for you to start to think of the ways, particularly as we come out of lockdown, which I hope we'll do sooner rather than later, as long as that's safe. It is for you to then go, right, we're going to mark this together and do these things together. Now, I know we've told you in school we will look to hold your graduation day and the sixth form ball in September if we can possibly can. And that will be our ritual moment where we can do that in the building. But now you have to find those personal ones yourself. Next week, then, the last week of enrichment, is your last chance to engage with the teachers in classroom settings, albeit online ones. And so please do make the most of that next week. There are some new courses on, which we'll send you over the weekend, that you can sign up to, including new technologies you're likely to encounter at university and in your working lives. And a number of departments are rebranding ideas that they want to share with you next week. So please do look out for that, and please do engage in these last 5 days of your formal educational teaching. After that, you remain St Dunstan students, and you can still access all of our pastoral pathways, whether that be things like formal counselling, contact with your tutor, if you need advice or help from you about UCAS. You can still write to us, and I encourage you to write to us because you remain students, formal SDC students with us all the way through till August. After August, you will of course always be an SDC alumni, and it's so good that many of you have already signed up to Mrs. Blake James's email request to join the alumni circle, and that's a great way of staying in contact with each other, and I would recommend that you do that. Year 12, you have been performing fabulously. You are becoming, as year 13 leave, the senior year in the school, and more than ever, we are looking for you to become the promising adults that we know that you are. We know it has not always been easy being in the interactive lessons. We know that work-life balance is particularly difficult. Hey, look at me, I'm at home at the moment, and one gets out of bed, one comes into assembly, one goes into the kitchen, one goes back to one's books. I mean, it's difficult to get all of those transitions right. And I really thank you for your patience in understanding that this is all new for the teaching staff as well. And at the end of this assembly, I'm going to put a link underneath to a student who she's at university, but she goes to an online university not because of COVID-19, but because that's her choice. And she has some really great tips to share with you about how to make the best of your lessons, and how to help your teachers make the best of those lessons. Because frankly, this is not a normal way in which any of your teachers will have been trained or habituated to teach you, right? So more than ever, you need to create like mini feedback loops within your lessons to help the teaching staff understand what you need. Now, how do you do that? What do I mean by mini feedback? I mean, talk to your teachers. It might be a good chance, particularly at the beginning and end of lessons, to try and engage with them just in the more normal, happy ways in which you would do that if you came into the classroom, right? So if you came into the classroom, you might well just say hello to your teacher. You might well just talk about what you've been doing, or you know, how the week's been gone. And that's perfectly, that's what you should be doing in online sessions, because what that helps to do is set the tone for the lesson and help you and your teacher like just continue to build that conversational rapport, which all lessons actually depend upon. Now, I know you also have lots of questions about your end of year exams and about coming out of lockdown, and I hope to be able to write to you next week when the government updates the country on the current position. But until then, please do watch that video, because I think it gives us all, teachers and students, some great tips for how to conduct online lessons. So I hope you're all feeling well, and as I say, it's been good to reconnect with you all, and stay strong, and I hope to see you again sooner rather than later. Okay guys, bye.